Well, good morning. It has been probably 3 to 4 weeks since I last uploaded. I don't remember, but if you recall, I said that I would kind of dial it back just a little bit, kind of keep some articles going on my website. So the blog is semi active, but I'm in the middle of a cowl right now. So we've been really hyper focused on giving my attention to those that are part of it and also finishing the projects as well. So let's just catch up. I don't have that much today. This shouldn't be too long, but we'll just talk about a couple of things. All right, first things first, welcome or welcome back. My name is Tiffany. This channel is Beyond Swatches. My intention on the channel is to go beyond the basics of knitting. This is allergy season for me. I don't know how you all are feeling, but I got the runny eye and the stuffy nose and then a runny nose. Like, it's just so, ugh. And then I hear from one of the girls in my knit along group that there's something going along. I didn't ask her where she is, but she's somewhere in the central time zone. So whatever y'all have over there, please don't send it this way. We don't want it on the East Coast. We got enough of our own germs. But yeah, I feel all of this happening. So if I sound a little nasally, that's all it is. It's just change of weather, change of season, allergy thing. So let's go ahead and just start. So as part of my cowl of 2025, our fall and winter cowl this year, we are working on one or two projects, which is the Ranunculus, which I'll put a picture. The Ranunculus, which is the ever so popular pattern, and I probably will include it in every single one of these that I run because there's always somebody who wants to make one. And the second one is the Arctic Light Sweater, which FYI is this. Kind of modified on this. I didn't do the bobbles inside of the little whatever this is, that cable. I don't really care for bobbles. I think they're just not, I don't know, I just don't like them. I'm a person who also is not a big fan of big polka dots. They kind of creepy to me. Weird, I know, but bobbles and yeah, I don't, it's not for me. So I didn't do those. And the two ladies who are working on it in the group, they're not doing them either. Not because I swayed them to, but because I asked the question, do you want to make the polka dot bobble thing? And it was like, absolutely not. So I am not alone in my feeling. So that's what I am working on in the cow. This particular one is my very first Arctic Light sweater, and I learned a lot from working on this. This is pretty big. It is very, very big. I knit this in an extra large based on the measurements, which was a 48-inch bust. I thought I was getting something that would be a little snug. She says to choose a pattern with 6 inches of positive ease in it. So I was under the impression that me choosing the size 48 would have given me a total like bust size of 54 as far as positive ease. I'm glad I chose the way that I did and not went up a little bit. I don't know. The whole ease thing can be a little weird. Some people write the ease into their numbers so you would size down, but I don't believe that's how this pattern was worded. So I chose my size with the intention of it being tighter or fitted because I am a 48-inch bust. Let me pull this down. Because I am a 48-inch bust, I thought by choosing my size that it would be snug to me because I felt like the yarn would stretch and ease up a little bit. That choosing my direct size would give me a perfect fitting sweater. Well, in choosing my direct size, I still have what looks like, I didn't measure the ease, but this is a lot of fabric. Like my body is here and this, yeah, that's a lot of fabric. And this armhole is very deep for the extra large. Overall, I love this sweater. I love it because it is so detailed, and it was what I would call hard when I first started it. But once I got into it, this sweater is really not hard. It just requires a lot of focus. And if you're a person who doesn't like to pay attention to the details and can't stay focused on one row or round for too long, this may not be for you. But overall, if you want to challenge yourself and just make it a long-term project, like start it in the fall or winter, put it down for the spring and come back to it again, This is a good pattern for that. I feel that you will feel very accomplished. All of these cables, every single stitch made by me, and tons of mistakes, I'm sure, especially in the seed stitch area. It took me a second to realize that it was a double moss stitch and not a true seed stitch. So I kept thinking like my numbers were off, or I must have did something wrong. So I was undoing and redoing, and I'm reading the pattern and not reading the pattern. Like I made a lot of growth mentally when it comes to knitting and understanding charts. And this yarn is a acrylic. This is by Premier Basics. DK is the line. So the DK Premier, and it is a category 3. It's like 306 yards per ball or something like that. And it's a perfect acrylic yarn. Like, it works up well. It doesn't have a whole lot of pilling on it. I wore it a lot during the fall and winter last year when I finished it, or maybe it was early this year. I finished it in January of this year, so I wore it all through like February and March. And it didn't pill a lot, and because it's acrylic, threw it in the wash, threw it in the dryer, and it came out perfectly perfect every single time. So definitely recommend the yarn as a cheaper option, financially. Not necessarily cheap in quality. I feel like acrylics have their place, and if you're a person who's not going to take care of your yarn, the best thing you can do is find a really good hard working acrylic that is going to last. And for me, this is it. I've used this yarn before. I made the I made the diamond knit dress by Knititude. That was like the Premier Basic chunky edition, or chunky yarn, and it too has washed and worn very, very well. So all of you snobby people out there who think acrylic is subpar, I would like to remind you that it has its place. It has its place, especially if you're a budget person and you just can't afford all the bells and whistles. There's some really good acrylic out here, and I will always stand for that. So let me show you the yarn that I'm working on for my current, my new Arctic Light sweater. And it looks like this. So this is a Loops and Threads by Michaels. It's hard to get a read for it exactly, but I'll see if I could throw some pictures in maybe. But you see it's kind of tweedy, right? Like it has specks and flecks of color, and it has that mohair feel to it. Composition on this, it's 66% polyester, 30% acrylic, and 4% wool. What type of wool? I have no idea. Hand wash cold, do not bleach, do not dry flat, and do not iron. I am going to take a small piece of this yarn when I finish and put it in the washer and dryer and just see what happens. But I probably would only ever hand wash this. So yeah, so what I learned from my first one, because of the sizing, I'm definitely going to go down to a size large. Originally, I wanted to down to a medium, but because this yarn has like not a whole lot of stretch, and it's a little bit, it's not stiffer. It's just got that chainette type construction. So I don't know if it's going to give as much. No, I didn't swatch. Obviously, I didn't swatch. But I do firmly believe that a quick little knitted swatch will give you a feel for what the fabric is going to feel like, but it's not going to tell you your full story, because by the time your body heat is inside of a garment, plus the gravity of it weighing across your body, across your bust, across your hips, you sitting in it, like a gauge swatch can only tell you but so much. So my opinion, make the swatch, kind of see what the fabric is looking like and get a feel for what you think it might do. But that's just my opinion. I'm no expert, by the way. So this is how the sweater is looking. Let's just marvel at her glory. She's so cute. There's the arm. I'm trying to find you the raglan. So yeah. So as we wear this sweater, this is it. This is what it looks like. And I'm so excited to have it, I swear. So first things first, you notice I made the collar much, much shorter. The collar is designed to be folded in. I have never been a fan of the folded in sweater collar thing. I just don't like the way it looks. I don't know why. I just don't. Maybe it's I don't know. But I love a nice little short collar. I didn't want a turtleneck. I do like the blue one as it is, but I didn't want to do that again. So the front and back are exactly the same. This is the cable. That's the cable that goes in the middle. So, see. I told y'all allergies. So that's that. And yeah, I think I'm gonna really love it. It's soft. I love working with this yarn. It called to me in the store. I swear it did. It was like I saw, and honestly, this color I didn't see until the very end. There was this very pale greenish blue colorway, and it had like specks of green, like spearmint green, and specks of royal blue. It was so pretty, and I just kept walking back to it, and I kept walking back to it, and I was like, oh, I want that so bad. I don't need to buy any more yarn. I'm gonna get this. I'm not gonna get this. And I just happened to look down and I saw this, and I was like, oh my god. It is so perfect. It's so cute. So adorable. I love it. I love it so much. And I can't wait to finish it. And for a project like this, when it's got all of this work that goes into it and it feels like daunting, you really want to find you a really good yarn that you're going to love working with, because you're going to be here for a while. So you might as well pick something that you love and make it work. So that's the Arctic Light sweater. I have been actively working on it, but I'm working on all of my projects in tandem, because when I run a cow, I work on the projects with everyone. Maybe not necessarily to finish them, but I try to keep pace with everyone else, so that if they need a demonstration, an explanation, if they're in a certain part of a pattern, I can kind of work with you so that we can go over your questions in real time and not just give you a video based on what I think you mean, you know. So that's why I'm working on this stuff so diligently. My second project, also part of the cow, is the ranunculus. So I've made 3 of the ranunculus already. This will be my 4th. One of them I gifted. One of them I felted. Oh, it was tragic. It was so tragic. Let's pull this out. So this also is in that same yarn because I loved it so much. If you know anything about me, you know that I love the color pink. And pink and blue are 2 of my favorite colors. Like a navy blue is really nice. Royal blues are really nice. Love a hot fuchsia. Love pale pinks. I like pastel colors, you know. So I'm a girl's girl, I guess. So when I saw this, they only had 3, and I wasn't too no, they only had 2, and I wasn't too sure if I was gonna have enough to do the Arctic Light sweater in this color. So I grabbed it, saying I know for sure I'll have enough to do the ranunculus. So we are working up the ranunculus in this. And this one, unlike the beige one, it doesn't have like tweedy flecks in it, but it does have like white pieces that almost shimmer. It's not a shimmery yarn, but because of the white threads that are kind of looped through here, it looks like it's shiny or shimmery, and I love it. Oh my god, I love it so much. So here it is. So my ranunculus, after my very first one, also figured out what I like and don't like. I did not do the double loop cast on, which everybody wants to try it. I have a video on my channel for it. Just search for it, double loop twist cast on or something like that. It's a pretty popular video, and that's how I know there's still people out here who want to make this sweater. And that's why I do it in every knit along, because that video gets the most replays out of all of the videos on the channel. Well, that one and the Norwegian knitting one. Those 2 are the most popular, but you know, so I know that the sweater is very popular because that cast on video gets watched a lot. And this is what it's looking like. I finished with the yoke. Let me think. I have one more round. I'm on like round 36 of the yoke. So I'm just about done, ready to start the raglan. But look at it. Isn't she pretty? Oh, it's so cute. And it's a pastel color. She's so cute. So what I'm going to do with this one, I never do this. Very rarely do I do this, rather. I am going to finish the body first, and then I'm going to work on the sleeves, because I think I would like this in a long sleeve just to have that nice warm winter garment feel, even though I'm heading into a stage of life where personal summers are a thing, and I'm a little bit nervous about having something this fuzzy and warm on my arms. Every once in a while you need a little arm coverage, so I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna go for the long sleeve because I want to use up all of this yarn. So once I get finished with the body, I'm gonna weigh out what I have in yarn, and we're just gonna finagle it. We're gonna make the sleeves as long as I can without them looking awkward. If I can get a full sleeve, that'd be great. If I can at least get to a half sleeve, like a, what do you call this when they go to your elbow, 3/4 lengths maybe, or elbow length sleeve, if I can at least get there, that'll be good. But I'm gonna try to get through and do 2 full length sleeves. We're gonna try, because I only have the 2 balls, so I gotta be smart. Different on this one versus some of the others, I didn't do the short rows on the front, I just did them on the back. My reason for not doing the short rows in the front is because the lace section, this part right here, it usually would stop a little too close to the cleavage, like right down in the breast area, and I didn't want this part, the holy part, I just didn't want it to be directly over my chest. So I felt like not doing the short rows up front would at least pull it up a little bit, so it'll stop at the top of the bust area, if that makes sense. So that's the ranunculus. I'm loving it. I really am. And you would think that working on the same yarn would be tiresome. It is not. I love this yarn. Now, I'll tell you in full transparency, when I went to Michael's, I was like, I feel like I'm disrespecting my Queen Joanne going into Michael's. So I call him Prince Michael now. I went into Prince Michael, and it was not a bad experience. I will say every Michael's is different though, because the one that's close to my house, they have literally nothing. Like, it is so hard to find anything. I heard that they were taking over like some of the sewing stuff that came out of Joann's, and they would start selling it in there. The one local to me has nothing. They don't even really have fat quarters in there. So I was like, what kind of craft store is not going to have the sewing section if you're going to take over Joann's? That's where we went, you know. Well, I stumbled upon another one that's about 20 minutes away in the other direction. Oh my word. I don't know where they found the space. I don't know how they did it, because they did not sell fabric before. But it was like, oh, Prince Michael, you did it. You did it. You made me so happy. I walked in that store and I asked the lady, do y'all have fabric in here now? And she's like, yeah, we have she said we have a couple of sections. And I was like, that's an odd way to describe it. What does she mean by that? Because sections, I think, like groupings in the store. And there were rows, like 3 rows. So you go in your aisle and you got this side and that side. So that was that. And then you go around the other side and there was yarn, fabric on the other side. And it was pretty yarns too. They were good quality. They weren't just quilting cottons. Like if you go in a Hobby Lobby, they mainly have quilters cotton. I don't exactly know what the difference is between that, but I can tell in the feel that one is thinner than the other, and one is not something you're not going to wear that. Like, you definitely need a good lining or something behind it. So that's what I've learned from feel. I don't know anything in practical. It's a little chilly out here this morning. I'm waiting for the sun to come up. You see it's trying to peak, but yeah, so went into Michael's and I got that yarn. It was a really good shopping experience. I have now taken the veil off of the blinders off of my eyes when it comes to craft stores, because I only ever used to go to Joann. I would shop online and pick it up in the store. I would go in there during like their Black Friday sales, and I would just rack up on, super thick yarns for hats and scarves for the winter. Which, by the way, my husband is like, "Excuse me, it's September. I don't see you working on my hat for this winter." And I was like, "But you still have hats in the drawer from last year." He's like, "No, I want a new hat." And I'm like, "All right, fine. Who am I to say no if I love to knit, right?" So I'll be making him a couple of hats for the winter. He's in a new work location, so he's like, "I can get you some orders." And I always think that would be such a cool thing to just make stuff and sell it, but I don't really have the discipline for that kind of thing. And that's probably why every time I think about it, I get a little nauseous. I'm not really interested in putting in orders, maybe for small things, but like someone asked me to make them a sweater, and I was just looking at them like, I don't I don't even like you like that. Like, I can't make you a sweater. That's definitely a loved one's type of knit. How do y'all feel about gifting? Or how do you feel about knitting for other people? Because no, I just can't. A hat and a scarf, maybe. A hat and a cowl for sure. But a scarf, even that takes a long time. So I don't know. My cat is over there literally digging up where I took my I had my garden set up over here, and I dug it all up, and she's using it as a litter box now. Whatever. Also on my list of things that I'm working on intermittently is the first sweater. It's not my first sweater, but the pattern is called The First Sweater. So this is by Lizzie Hester. She just had a baby. If she ever watches this, congratulations. I believe it was a boy, so I'm very happy for her. But the first sweater is a raglan style construction. It has a half fisherman's rib sleeve, which is supposed to be long sleeve, but similar to what I said about the ranunculus and wanting that nice long sleeve feel, I do kind of fear being too hot. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep this short sleeve. It currently stops right at the elbow for me when I tried it on. I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings about it, so I'm gonna pause this sleeve and go work on the other one and kind of get it together to try it on and just see what I feel like. This is the Knit Picks Brava Recycle, which is a DK weight yarn, and it is a good feeling yarn. It squeaks a lot though. It squeaks a lot. I thought it was the wooden needles that I had before, so I changed to metal. They still squeaked. Now when I'm working on the arm, I had to put in my combo type needle, so it has a metal tip and this is a wood body of the needle. It still squeaks. So there's just some acrylics just do that, so it feels very plasticky, but it feels good on the body. We'll see about the wash and wear of it. I personally love a good acrylic for the wash and wear ability of it. And this color, I don't remember what they call this, but to me it's like a grayish oatmeal. And I don't have very many solid color like beige items. Everything I do is colorful. So I kept saying, it's time for you to kind of bring some basic colors into your wardrobe, girl. You can't do everything standing out in the crowd, you know. Yes, you can, by the way. But I did want a basic color that maybe I can dress up or dress down. You see it has the short rows in the back. This is what a short row does. It basically just lifts a section of the work. So this raises the back of the neck up a little bit. And if I did the short rows on the ranunculus, this would have also raised it up a little bit, but it would have also dropped that pattern down, and I didn't want to do that. So that's why I didn't do it. But I'm loving working on this. It's just that working on the fisherman's rib stitch is literally like double the work. So every V that you see, like every one of these bubbly big stitches that you see, those is technically 2 rounds of knitting. So when you think of it that way, it makes you feel like you're never going to finish. I try not to think about it, even though I know that's what it is. So when I sit down to work on this, I make myself get through at least the 2 rounds so that I can say at least I did one. I'm currently at round 33. Oh, I'm on round 31. And I was telling myself I have 2 more to go to make it to halfway of what the pattern recommends for a full length sleeve. So I'm going to stop at the halfway point, put this on hold, and I'll do this to 33 as well, and just get a feel. I don't know. I really don't know how I'm going to feel about it, but I don't know. Anyway, can you tell indecision? They say that that is a side effect or a symptom of our perimenopausal lifestyles right now. So I have a lot of indecision. Can't think, can't formulate a thought. It's a lot of that going on. But anyway, but I'm loving it. I love the way it's coming out. I like the way this raglan is set up. It's not your basic, like, you know what a regular raglan looks like with the V. It's not that. So it gives it a very much like a jersey feel. Like if you ever remember those collegiate high school jerseys where the sleeve is one color and the neck is a color, the body is a different color. I wish that I could do that with this, but I believe if I wanted to, it would require some type of intarsia setup, and I'm not ready for any of that right now. I don't even really care for color work. It's so pretty. Look at it. And you know what's so funny? Every time I look at work that I've done, like I'm showing it to you all on camera, I always am so like impressed with me. Like, you actually are making clothing that you wear outside in public, and you are not afraid that it's going to fall apart, and people notice it and they're like, oh, I like that sweater, and I'm like, yep, I made it. Yes, I did. And it's always so remarkable to me. So anyway, so that's the first sweater by Lizzie Hester. Her name on Ravelry is Hive Knits. So if you want to go and support her, I think she had a coupon of some sort going on. You can find her on Instagram to check for a post. I try to repost whenever people have sales because, you know, everybody needs a little support. And maybe you're looking for a new designer to step outside of your comfort zone and try something new. And I'm hoping that I always try to find designers' patterns to work on that are not so well known, so that you too can find you people that maybe, you know, have a writing style that you gravitate towards, and you can find a new favorite designer also. All right, so that is the end of the actual what I'm working on portion. And everything, like I said, except for that first sweater, is relating to my cowl. So just those 3 sweaters I got going on. One a little difficult, one semi-difficult, one not so bad. So let's see. Oh, while it's sitting right here, let me show you what I've been working on the sewing front. I don't really share anything sewing related over here on YouTube. If you want to follow the sewing stuff, you can find me on TikTok, because that's where I've been posting it recently, just to keep things different and interesting. But I've been making aprons, and I'm almost finished with this one. I just got to do the strap. But look at my fabric. Didn't I tell you Michaels was having fabric and it was coming out so cute? It's so adorable. And I got the pockets done already. I just need to put the strap in and sew the hem on here. And yes, I put a lining on the back because, like I said, the cotton feels a little thin. And so I just wanted to make it, I don't know, I just wanted to give it a little bit more protection. That's the holes for the straps to come out of, and then it goes through this casing that also is right there. So yeah, and then you sew it down and it looks all professional. Not really, I still got a lot of mistakes like raw edges. But I don't care. It's an apron and it works and it fits and it got pockets. I'm so excited. But yeah, I love this. I think it was on sale too. It was like $3.99 a yard or something. And I bought 1.5 yards. Whether I get 2 of this. I think I got 2 yards of the lemon and 1 yard of this, because I just needed it for the back of the apron. So yeah, so that's what I've been sewing on, a couple of aprons, but I am gonna pull out an actual dress pattern. Be still my heart. Because I just feel like it's time. I found some fabric that was at Walmart for practice because I don't want to use my good stuff just yet. I found some yarn at Walmart for practice, so I'm gonna pull that out. And maybe, as I'm thinking about it right now, maybe I won't start with the dress, but there is a pattern that I want to make for pajamas for the house, since I stay home a lot. I like the idea of a nice pajama set, loungewear set to wear around the house. I have this knit fabric that has like small little cherries on it. I have another one that's pink and it has these big strawberries on it. That would be so cool if I could make like a t-shirt and a pair of lounge pants to just walk around the house in. So maybe I'll do that first, especially because the weather is changing a little bit and it's starting to get a little chilly. I think it would be nice to have a nice pair of PJs to wear. I found a bathrobe pattern too. Just all the things. Like, I want to make all the things, but I literally need to tell myself to slow down and take it one little step at a time and just learn the skills that you need. So I've been forcing myself to slow down, which is why I probably keep remaking these, because I'm trying to really get comfortable with my machine. But the terminology, the way that things kind of lay out on fabric, like, I'm trying to learn and not just do. So far so good. So there's my apron. As I move it out the way, I'm trying to get to my other project so I can show you what I finished. The only thing I have as a finish is, remember when I told you I was working on that scarf and I was just going to make it as long as I could make it? I still have 3 balls left and it's already too long. So I felt like it doesn't need to be any longer than this. Oh, my earring fell out. I saw it. Where'd it go? I don't feel like it needs to be any longer than this. I feel like this is just long enough. Look. Right? It goes down just like that. I just finished it yesterday. No, I haven't weaved in the ends. But even if I wanted to put it up here, like I did with my Sophie scarf, if y'all remember that Sophie scarf type thing. This is all I wanted. I just wanted it to be long enough to do a wrap. And I still got length, so yeah. We out here playing dress up, y'all. I did toy around with the idea of maybe making it into a cowl and just have it like an infinity cowl that's just really, really long. Maybe. I love it. Let me show you the yarn. It was the Drops Nepal. And I got this from the Wool Warehouse online. They're in the UK. And child, if that wasn't an adventure trying to get this yarn. I'm hoping that things are different now because they're used to shipping here. But I had such a hard time getting my yarn package. I did not expect this yarn ball to be so small. Yes, that is how small they really are. 50 grams, or is it 25 grams? It's 82 yards, and that is nothing. I did some sort of conversion, and I thought I was gonna have like 100 and I thought at least maybe 150 yards. It says 82 yards, so maybe I misread it and thought it said 82 meters, and I was thinking I was getting more, but it definitely says 82 yards on here, and that's all that is. So it's not yeah, it's not a lot in there. And I had to order for what I was trying to use it for. I ordered, I want to say 10. I think I ordered 10 in the blue, and then I had like 6 in a beige color, and I made a scarf out of that. Really nice scarf. It's not too itchy. It is a wool and alpaca mix. Let's see, 65% wool, 35% alpaca. Beautiful buoyancy to it, like the stretchability, you know. Oh, sorry. So it has some, let's see, yeah, it stretches real nice. It has a nice hand feel. It feels, I guess because of the wool and alpaca, it has almost like, you know how you put lotion on your hands? Like it has that kind of feel to it. It feels real nice. If you're sensitive to wools and alpacas, this may not be for you. I'm not overly sensitive, but I do have a feeling of an itch factor, but it's not itchy to me. But there is a hint of a prickle behind what I'm feeling. And if you're sensitive, this might be annoying. For me, I don't think it would be annoying, but I think if I started to get too hot under my jacket or something, it would become too much. And in that case, I probably would take off my jacket and just wear my scarf. So maybe I'm heading into the season of just wearing some vest and a scarf, or maybe just a hoodie and a scarf. That might be okay. But I love the way it feels. I was thinking about giving it to my husband, letting him carry it because it is blue. And he likes, he likes the dark and navies as well. Let's see. If I made this into a cowl, even maybe a twisted cowl would be nice, to where it kind of has a twist in it already. This is how long it would be. And I don't know, maybe I will do it into a cowl, and it could just kind of hang out like that, That's cool. Cowls are always nice because you can just throw them in, but I also like the idea of having it as a scarf where you can throw it up over your head, cover your ears. You might hit a strong burst of wind. The sun is doing things. The sun is doing things. This is my favorite part of being outside, y'all, is the sun. Oh, tell me I'm not a celebrity. Look at me. Ooh, come through sunshine. Okay, time to go inside. I love this. Oh, I'm just sorry. I got distracted by looking at me. All right. So yeah, so that's all that I have for you today. I am going to put up blog posts regarding each of these projects. I would ask for you to go ahead and sign up for the newsletter. There isn't anything spammy about me. I'm very much low key. I send out things that are important. If I want to give you a sneak peek into what the next cowl is going to be, I may ask a poll question so that you can help me pick out what content you want to see. Yeah, just trying to get a good strong footing for what everyone wants to see and do around here, so that we can build an actual community of people that are working together. My current cowl group is amazing. Small group, usually it is, but I love working with my ladies. I finally got everyone on. I've seen everyone in person officially. We've had about a sickness. We've had some family visiting, but life happens. But we were on yesterday, and one of you, Miss Karen, I wish you well. I hope you get to feeling better. Hopefully we can get you in the next 2 weeks. But like I tell everyone in every group that I'm in, if you have questions or need help, just let me know. Send me a message. You don't have to wait the 2 weeks. You can definitely hit me up in the middle of any week, and I will jump on with you. Y'all can't tell me that this scarf is not serving. He may have to wait and get his own, because I am loving this. Maybe I'll make one of those hood patterns. I was seeing them a lot last year. Make one of those hood type wraps that kind of go over your head. I don't know, but this is a look. This is ooh. So I will see y'all in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a good week. Sign up for the newsletter so that you can stay on top of everything that's going on. One thing that will be added to the newsletter that I probably will never talk about here is going to be my recipe of the week. I'm planning on trying to pick out different recipes from cookbooks, websites, blog posts, etc. Make them, rate them, and kind of let you know what that was like. So if you like that sort of thing, that will kind of bring in the gardening aspect of my life to use up some of the stuff that I'm growing. And yeah, so sign up for the newsletter. I'm pretty sure there'll be much more activity on that than there is here on the YouTube space, because it just takes less time. So I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.